Hello and welcome or welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have something I'm actually really excited about. It's like a classic Iraqi breakfast and it's called bagilla بدهن. If you're Iraqi, I'm sure that you're very familiar with it. And I feel like it's one of those things that if you haven't grown up eating it, it seems really weird because it's basically bread and oil. So it's not healthy, but it's so tasty. And it's basically, bagilla is actually broad beans, is the name for broad beans. You get obviously the green broad beans and you get these brown ones. And actually we normally, like I have mentioned before, we like to use dried and then soak them overnight and just cook them. But I forgot to soak them, so we had to run it this morning and get a couple of cans, but that's totally fine. So that's them here. I'll show you them a bit up close in case you're not familiar. Some people will say that this needs to be served with eggs. I would personally disagree. I've had it for years without eggs and I still really enjoy it. Also, this is the kind of bread that we're using. It's this kind of Iraqi halved, I guess. But you could also use like pita bread or salmon. I'll put a picture of salmon in case you don't know what salmon is somewhere on the screen. Something else that is a bit of maybe an unfamiliar ingredient to some people if you're not familiar with the dish is this called butnij, which I literally just found out today. In English is called hedgnettle, which is a bit weird, and it's basically a type of mint, so it's like dried obviously, and it kind of smells like dried mint. So if you can't find this, you could use dried mint instead, but you'll be able to find this in any kind of Arab or probably South Asian grocery shops, so of course I would recommend it for this. And yeah, oh, also because we're not using eggs, some things to kind of elevate it. This is an idea that I got from Om Haider, bless her wee soul, is to add some sautéed onions and cherry tomatoes as well. It makes it really, really tasty. Me and Mom, when we eat it, we normally just have raw onion on the side, but when you cook it, obviously it becomes extra tasty. So yeah, I'm blabbering on so much, so let's get into it. Mom got a bit of a head start on me so that I wouldn't take too long and started to take the skins off of the beans. So this is them out of the can. She left some for me so that I could show people how to de-skin them, as if they need to be shown, but just in case. So yeah, this is the can in the pot. That's obviously just, you know, the beans and the kind of can water. And she's also added just a little splash of water in there as well. So I'm just going to finish taking the skins off of these and adding them in. Do you want to come a bit closer? So okay, so I've just finished taking the skins off of those beans, as you saw, and I've stuck them in here. I've just put the heat on high heat, and I'm just gonna bring it to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, I'll add in the bread and I'll show you all that when we come to it. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to heat up the oil that we'll be adding on top later. So I'm just gonna add, I don't know how to measure it to you. It's maybe like, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's maybe like a quarter cup of oil. And then basically once everything is done and in the bowl with the bread, I'm going to be adding that hot oil on top. So it's kind of like, instead of frying the bread, you add the hot oil on top and it kind of fries it at the end. It's like when I explain it, it sounds weird, but it's so good. You'll know if you've tried it. So yeah, I will see you in a bit. Okay, so my bagilla is just about to come to a boil, so I'm just about to tear up the khubuz. It's not opened, thought it was. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna roughly tear it up. This is not very exact at all. So like these kinds of pieces, I mean, it's really rough, rustic as they say. So yeah, I'm literally just gonna do that and then add that in with the bagilla. So that's come to a boil now, so I'm literally just gonna dump this bread in here. Right. Yum!
It's fine, it'll sink down.
Will it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot. What an idiot!
Use
What a
the-
bloody idiot! Right. It's fine. It's okay. We all make mistakes. And that's just a part of life. Right, so I'm just giving this a wee mix, just so that all the bread gets wet. Okay, and just while that's there for a little bit, I don't want it to sit for too long, I'm just going to put this butnij, hedgnettle, whatever. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom of the bowl, the serving bowl, so that, ooh, powdery, so that all the bread gets a bit, if that makes sense. Just a wee sprinkle. Just a wee sprinkle. And then I'm literally just gonna grab my little, what do we call these again? Chifchier. What do they call them in English? Spoon with the holes in it. And I'm just gonna take it out. So I literally just left the bread in there for less than a minute. You don't want to keep it in for too long because, you know, it gets soggy. So I'm just gonna take that out. It's too like bitty. I think I left it for too long. We're not perfectionists here, okay? I do apologise for any wee mistakes. Okay, so I've just had that oil heating up pretty much that whole time as well, so it's really hot, so obviously be careful if you're gonna make this. And I'm literally just gonna pour it on top. And then after that, I'm just gonna add, I didn't actually end up using all the oil, I left just a tiny bit, so just judge it. I thought that was enough. It was getting quite oily, so yeah, I'm just gonna add a bit more of that butnij dried mint thing on top. And it's all about the flick of the wrist, people. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna do is just add on the onion and tomato on top. So I'm trying to make it look nice. I'm just gonna add it around. And then I'm just gonna add these wee cherry tomatoes on top as well. That's literally it. It was so easy and simple to make. And like I said, the onion and tomato are optional, but they just elevate the flavour and make it really, really tasty. Also, I'd really recommend, as you're plating it, to add little squeezes, little wedges of lemon and lime, and then squeezing it on top just as you're about to eat it, because it makes it super, super tasty. And that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you try it, especially if you're not Iraqi. I'd be really curious to see what non-Iraqis think of this dish. And yeah, thanks so much. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye.